Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Oh, Rupa Nuga Prabhu in sunshine, warmth, sunglasses. Well, I won't look cold. I'll try not to look cold, okay? We're in the Krishna Shakti ashram. Oh, Sudevi also.
Oh, you're there.
Well, here I am with Leela Moy Prabhu and several devotees. We're going to have about 70 devotees or more, apparently.
Wow.
We're already quite a few, and it's Wednesday, but we're having an automatic festival of Krishna Shakti ashram. And it's quite chilly in the evening, as we found out. It's 11 o'clock at night. So anyway, good to see Sudevi and Rupanuga Prabhu, so warm in the sun shining brightly. Okay, wonderful. And Marianne, well, everybody's probably warm compared with us. Marianne. Hare Krishna. And Seva Rupa Devi Rasi early in the morning. Dana K in Florida. Yes, Seva Rupa, good morning. And Dana K in Florida, no doubt warm. Radha Sundari in Mayapur. And Gangalila Devi Rasi in, I forget the state, not California, but America.
Yes, California, Southern California, and it's warm.
Oh, Southern California, and it's warm. Okay. All right. Matras Pashashtu Kaunteya Shitoshna Shuka. I forget. Now I forgot it. It's the wrong time of day. But heat and cold, happiness and distress, all of these things we must tolerate. So this is a good exercise for us all. All right. And Udaran Prabhu joined from Latvia. And Jeevana's joining the audio. Yes. So Jeevana's joined us on the audio also and on the video too, simultaneously.
Getting off the video for the moment. I have to go put on my T-lock.
Okay.
Puneshri knows our little trick on that one.
And Radha
Okay.
Sundari is connected.
Radha Sundari is connected. Okay, she's with the audio. She's in Mayapur. So let us come together with, as we do, first of all, the necessity, I feel. Let's give our obeisances first to each other, and then Vandeham, then Om Gyan and Namo Mahaviranyaya. But we've come together, so let us give our obeisances, dear devotees. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So actually wonderful to see Sudevi listening, sitting beside a river, the river Tweed, is it? or the sea?
It's no, I forget what river it's called. It's not the Tweed River. It's a little bit further south, about an hour from Sri Govindadam. It's called a little town called Ballina.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, it looks super beautiful and a very nice place to hear about Krishna and to remember Krishna, to chant japa. Yes, looking very beautifully. Clear sky and Australian blue sky, Australian blue water. Just see. Oh, remind me. After our little program tonight, we're going to, because we're in the night, sorry, we're going to go out and see the stars because we're at, I think, 1,600 meters high, which for Americans who don't know about meters, that's about, how far? 3 times, well, I don't know how much it is. 5,000 feet, something like that. And clear, I mean, fresh air, we're in good area. So we're going to see how many stars we can see, a little bit of a different perspective from lowland. So anyhow, nature is amazing, and we can see nature in Australia there. And we've been seeing nature in this part of the world, a completely different nature in the 3 different places we've been, which is Sao Paulo, Uberlandia, and now Krishna Shakti Ashram, and quite different nature. But nature is nature. And we just saw a big spider. So and we don't know about Brazilian spiders, what are their nature. So we respectfully ousted him with a few Hare Krishnas, so he could hear.
Maharaj, to refresh your memory, Sevarupa has the shloka in the chat.
To refresh my memory, definitely you're doing that. What shloka are we talking about? First of all, Dana sending her Hare Krishna and offerings as she does. So thank you, Dana, to all of us. And Gangalila, we're happy to be here, Gangalila Didi. We're with the devotees as much as possible, and we're here as much as possible. We don't want to change the schedule. And Sevarupa's put BG 67. Oh, so okay. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna shuka dukeshu tata manapamanayoho. Okay, thank you very much, Sevarupati. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. Was that the verse I was quoting?
Stand back pronounce. And Maharaj, I just heard the heat and cold part. So I was like, okay, let me search that. So this is from the Bhagavad Gita. So I don't know.
That's wonderful. It's very good. Everything from Bhagavad Gita is infinite. We have this verse from Bhagavad Gita. And I've been told that Paramananda Prabhu is primed just in case our internet was bad. And that Paramananda Prabhu, he is already ready to say some things to us. So it probably will be good if Paramananda Prabhu says some things, not only first, but maybe always, and that we'll listen on this side of the world. Is that good, Paramananda Prabhu? Yes.
Well, she caught me completely unprepared, and I just entered the Zoom, and I haven't heard what you've been talking about, besides this verse from Sevarupa Didi, which kind of reminded me another verse. There's one more verse of a very similar theme. Matras Parshastu Konte Ashitoshta Sukha Dukkada Agama Payana Nitya Stamsti Tikshas for Bharata.
Thank you, Padmanabha. This is the verse I quoted. I was trying to quote it.
Yes, I thought so. That's the verse. To tolerate. Govinda Maharaj takes it to a different level. He can make his own comment on that verse. He can add another Sanskrit word for intolerable things into that. To tolerate the intolerable. I mean, what are the choices, actually, for us? We are limited jiva souls. You either tolerate and try to stay equal, otherwise you're just going to be swinging on a swing of emotions and feelings and depending on the environment and being a victim all the time. So Krishna gives several verses in Bhagavad Gita saying that a yogi, one who is actually realizing that connection with his original source, the Krishna, the land where he's coming from. Guru Maharaj quotes this beautiful verse, Shinvantam Vishva Amritasya Putram, where the children of the nectar were born of the nectar, were born to taste that nectar. It beautifully explains that. One of my favorite explanations, actually, by Guru Maharaj, because while he is explaining that, you can feel it. It's unbelievable. So either we do that, either we're tasting nectar, or we're swimming in the unlimited ocean. We like to think that it's only the spiritual world is infinite and unlimited. But actually, material world is also described as infinite, unlimited. It is actually described in the scriptures like that because we have no capacity to measure it. And it is created by the will of the Lord. And as such, there is no limitation by the definition of that. But the spiritual world is much bigger and of a completely different qualities. It's very subtle how to understand and how to perceive it. Otherwise, according to Rupa Goswami, when he composes the beautiful verse where he says that we're swimming in the infinite, unlimited ocean of he used another word, but of sufferings taken by the currents of the hallucinations from one place to another place. This is our situation. So our choices remain there, remain hallucinating, thinking, oh, this is real, no, that is real, that is real, that is real. Whereas there's nothing real, there's nothing permanent. Or beg Krishna, and Rupa Goswami is beautifully begging Krishna. He said, please, just this once, I realize it, I had enough. Please, you extend your helping hand. I'm begging you, I had enough. And that is coming from Rupa Goswami. It's a Rasa Acharya, very unusual verse, we can say. Why is he talking? Why is he expressing that? But it is coming from him, and it is included by Srila Guru Maharaj in Prapana Jivanamrita. Vivrita vivita bhati branti vega dagati balavati bhavapuri majjate me vidure asharana gana bandhu ha kripa kamadindu sakrita akrita valambam dehi hasta valambam dehi hasta valambam. Please give me your hand, help me. I have no other hope. And we can go on about it, but yes, we have to tolerate everything. And the heat and cold are the easiest things to tolerate. What is the most difficult thing to tolerate is actually your mind. And Govinda Maharaj used to talk about it a lot. Your mind, your senses as an extension of that, are the most difficult thing to tolerate. We can tolerate heat, we can tolerate cold, the environment around us. We can even tolerate people. I know it's difficult, but we can. But our mind, that's where we're running fast from. That is very difficult to tolerate. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, oh, Arjuna, don't even try. Impossible. Really impossible. There is only one way to do that. You fix your focus on my lotus feet. Surrender to me. That will produce that result. Otherwise, many people try. So many yogis try. And then what happens? One apsara comes down and 100,000 of years of meditation goes into the drain. That's it. I mean, that's a fact. So many stories like that in Bhagavatam, in Puranas, and Itihasas, everywhere. But once you surrender to Krishna, everything is taken care of. Maya have no influence. Suddenly you're not tolerating, you're just being yourself. Actually, be with Krishna is to be yourself, to be in your original position. We're talking about home comfort, the original source, the original Lord, the original land, the land of nectar. But that's what it is. This is our original position. That's where we are. And we act according to his will in that position. And we're happy to do that. Whatever he wants, we're there for him, immediately satisfying his desire. And we have all the capacities for that too. All the cities are serving there. They come to serve. Here we're trying to serve to achieve them. But there they're serving that land. They're serving the residents of that land. Any mystical perfection, everything is there to serve, to be at your hand, to be your instrument. Yes, Maharaj, thank you for reminding that. Simple things, learning how to tolerate simple things in the beginning. Starting from heat and cold, the spider I heard. We had a snake entering yesterday because it's so much raining here. So we had to tolerate the snake, gently catch the snake and remove it from the house. Mosquitoes and so many other things. But yes, there's gradation, there's steps going up and down. Hopefully we're going up consistently and not up and down in our practice of yoga. Anyhow, Maharaj, you caught me by surprise. And no questions were put forward, so I was just blubbering about things.
Happily, and in the meantime also that verse is put, well, you weren't blabbering first of all, but happily we are hearing from you is what I meant to say. But, and in the meantime also that the sloka, matraspashashtu kantaya, shitoshna shuka dukadaha, agamapayin no nityastangs titikshasva bharata is in the chat box by put there by Praneshwari. I was going to say by Praneshwari. It's by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita that the verse is found first. But yes, Sevarupadiri, what you gave is very similar and keeps us on our toes. Hare Krishna. And are there any questions? And we have Leela Moy Prabhu here, and he can also make a contribution. And we have Jivana. We actually, all of you can make contributions. When I see each one of you are contributorable, you can each make a contribution as well as a question. So first of all, are there any actual questions that have come up over this week? Or something that you've read or experienced that you'd like to share in the line of Krishna consciousness, of course?
Maharaj, I think Jivana is ready with something in her pocket, but if we can cover after her, if we can revisit the Ramananda Samvad, because it's so important for us.
Are you asking Jivana to revisit the Ramananda Samvad?
No, to you. She must have something in her pocket. So let's dive deep into that pocket. And then if you can revisit the Ramananda Samvad.
Ah, okay. I mean, we definitely can. And I'm wondering why this has come up in your mind this week.
Because of the point of education. I was thinking about education.
Okay. And you are an educator. So, all right.
Yes.
But first of all, Jivana Devirasi.
Well, I was going to bring up about Dandavat to everybody, by the way. So happy to have you here. We missed everybody so much last week. It's really great, Maharaj, how you are so consistent with always having this class. So super, super great. But I was just going to tell everybody, because I don't know if anybody heard, but on Maui, the island of Maui, they had really terrible fires. So the main person impacted is Sunanda. She's okay.
Oh,
But she did have to move out of her house, and then she went to stay with some other people. So that was good. But then they evacuated those people as well, although the fire never reached there, and now the fires are dying down. But she's somewhere in a shelter somewhere. All the cell towers have been either fallen down or have burned down. So they have no communication. There's no electricity right now in that part of Hawaii. It's in Lahaina, which is in the western part of Hawaii, of Maui. It's just on the island of Maui. And there were a couple others, but that place, that downtown Lahaina, is a really famous tourist town. Everybody who goes to Maui goes to Lahaina. And it sounds like it's really, someone said burned to the ground. I don't know if that's really true. They haven't actually gone to survey everything. So so she's in a shelter someplace, probably preaching to everybody and telling them to please chant Hare Krishna, and how this is a very good opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, knowing Sunanda, that's how she is. But we've all been just a little bit in anxiety that we haven't been able to actually contact her directly. So her husband is currently in California. So he also has been trying to, contact different people. That's how we got the most information so far. So I'm saying about how Paramananda was saying heat and cold we can tolerate. So like he said, it's very difficult, but even more difficult than a fire is this mind. So, but I just want to put that out for everybody. I know many of you know Sunanda, so you will have a lot of good wishes for her and good thoughts for her, and she will really, really appreciate that.
definitely.
And so like Paramananda was saying about tolerating, and one time somebody did have a really difficult situation that they were telling to Srila Gurudev, and Gurudev was listening, and he said, yes, that is intolerable. That is intolerable. But we must tolerate. So he would understand these situations that sometimes we're in. We're like Paramananda was saying, it seems like it's intolerable, but what can we do? We have to go on, and we have to try to tolerate these situations anyway. And that is not unseen by the Lord. He sees how much sacrifice and how much difficulty his devotees go through to come back to him. So you're not losing anything by tolerating. And so maybe we go to the Ramananda Sambad.
Well, maybe, but on the way to the Ramananda Sambad, you were mentioning about Sunanda. It reminds me of Srila Gurudev, when there were was a big earthquake in Mexico. And I don't remember I'm not sure I knew the details of exactly where the earthquake was, but there was a big earthquake in Mexico, and this came to the news in India, worldwide news. And how concerned Gurudev was for ashrama, Srila Bhakti Kusham ashrama, and for the devotees there. And so he's asking, oh, but what about ashrama and the devotees? And so then we, through the devotees, went to find information, to try to get information, and also had at that time difficulties because communications were down, this, that, and the other. And we were, those days, I think it was, I'm not sure if we were using internet, perhaps it was telephone. I don't fully recall that year, but what reminded me about that was your personal care, because we know everything goes on, and everyone's circumstance, we know we have to adjust to the environment and everything. But the devotees are not hard-hearted. The devotees care for others. And Mahaprabhu himself was not hard-hearted. And even when somebody passing away, Mahaprabhu was showing grief. And the time of the dancing, and was it Advaita Acharya's son passed away? I'd have to kind of do a little homework to get the right names, especially this time of night for us. But Mahaprabhu is showing compassion, etc. And then everything going on after that, but showing compassion. And so devotees are not hard-hearted. And so Jivan is a devotee. She's not hard-hearted, and she's made an appeal. But I don't know about the rest, but we hadn't, we didn't know, but just about that, but also an example that important news does reach us, even if we don't read the headlines, because the friends like the devotees, they let us know important news.
And anyone who ever met Sananda would know what a wonderful devotee she is. So dedicated, very enthusiastic. And she's always taking care of her deities, distributing prasadam every single day. She cooks and goes out and takes things to people and tells everybody about Krishna consciousness. And she's a very amazing person. So very fortunate to be able to think about her ever, but just hoping that I'll let you know what we find out once we get some communication going.
And another thought in that, along the lines of the happiness and distress idea, that you mentioned that town, which I don't know the name of, was a tourist town. So it's flourishing. It's got, obviously, it's Hawaii. It's got luxury this, luxury that, all these things. And then next minute, it doesn't exist, or more or less like that, the ups and downs. And it reminds me of many years ago when I was young and used to travel. Then I was in Ghana. And in Ghana at that time, which was at the end of the 70s, the late 70s, then they'd gone through some monetary problem, I suppose. But there were luxury hotels abandoned. And in fact, we stayed at a luxury hotel beside the swimming pool with our truck. I mean, completely free, because it was just some area where we could, pitch the tents, be there for the night, and then continue. And the swimming pool, they had a big swimming pool. The swimming pool had a big crack in it because it wasn't maintained. The hotel was abandoned. And to buy something, there was a supermarket, and walking in the streets of the capital city of Ghana, which I don't remember the name of. Anyway, I really can't remember the name of it, so long ago. And walking through the streets, and then came across a supermarket, went into the supermarket, and there was no lights on, so no electricity was running in the supermarket. And there was just the very first row of shelves, the section of shelves as you go in, which had anything on. And there were perhaps just 4 items just repeated down the shelf. And looking at the city at that time and the country at that time, it just looked like, well, this has obviously been, a good place, like you're saying, a luxury place to go to. But it had lost everything. So the ups and downs. And that does come back in my memory sometimes, in my mind sometimes, because we see sometimes like all this opulence and like pride of places, but with every rise is a fall. And as Guru Maharaj points out, all of this material advancement, it's all going to come and eat itself. It's going to devour itself. I think Guru Maharaj uses that exact phrase. And we will see very soon it will all come to devour itself. Wow. So the world comes down to our survival, food, but the human life is meant for solving the whole problem, and not just for getting a better cell in the prison house, or a better making our cabin on the Titanic more luxurious, when we know what's going to happen to the Titanic. Yes, the reliable astrologers have told us. And as sometimes people do ask me, so, you are doing these things. Can you see the future? Can you read my hand? So sometimes I say, yes, show me your hand. You're going to die. I mean, that's pretty bad, I suppose. But I mean, then we try to soften it. And no, by the way, devotees, I can't read the palm of the hand, but Gurudev could very well, and there is a science, we know there's a science. But you know, the good astrologers tell us that the Titanic is going to sink and that we are on the Titanic. Anyway, all these ups and downs of the material world, sometimes when they're right in front of our eye, or like this, I mean, like this, where we hear of that, the fire, then we can think about that. And we saw the forest fires, which were for a long time in Australia.
Right.
And when the forest is on fire, then really you get a little glimpse. This could go on forever. When is this going to end? It feels like that. I mean, somehow firefighters and people, or people who light fires, even in Thailand, they light fires, don't they, for clearing the land. And I sometimes think they're burning the field, but when it hits the forest, isn't this going to start the forest? And then you know, we do hear about, you know, the great fire of devastation, these things. So, you know, fire is, and Cheto Dapanam Majanang Baba Maha Davagni Nirvapana. So the great fire of this world, the forest fire of this world, which devours everything. All the little animals, the big animals, the birds, the trees, they're all trying to escape. But the birth and death, all of the things that are coming to catch us, we're going to be caught. So fire is also amazing. And three things we should attend to immediately: fire, health, and debt. We hear that from Chanaka Pandit. Yes, so yes, a prayer to Sunanda, and no doubt she's doing good things there. And please let her know that the Back to Basics team are sending their prayers, Stephen, because you're in touch with her somehow through the ether, if not through the internet.
For now.
Sevarupa Deviraj says, come with another sloka for us from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sudushaham imang manya atmanya sad atikramam vidusam api vishvatman prakritir hi baliyasi. O soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality in material life is very strong, and therefore it is very difficult even for learned men to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people. Only your devotees who are fixed in your loving service and who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet are able to tolerate such offenses. And the capital of Ghana is Accra. Thank you very much. Yes, it was on the tip of my mind, but I wasn't sure. And because we're being recorded, I thought I shouldn't mention any wrong name. Paramananda, very cheerful. Which part?
About your palmistry remark, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Oh dear. Yes, and Sevarupa, I've thought about this verse before also. When various things happen in life, as they do, I have thought about this verse for sure, that you put in the box. But,
Maharaj.
Oh, yes. Yes.
One cheerful story from Govinda Maharaj's life.
Please.
Which you know about tolerating and dealing with the problems.
Which one are you going to come
dealing
up
with the intolerable. A man, I forgot what was the subject, but one person came and complained about some family disturbance. He was very much disturbed and saying so many things, how he's disturbed about it. And Govinda Maharaj is patiently listening to that and looking very sympathetic. And then he said, oh yes, Prabhu. I also have a big problem. I am sitting and thinking, what shall I have for breakfast? Anyhow, it was a very affectionate way of Govinda Maharaj to show that actually all of that is the product of our mind and our senses. It has no reality. That's the story.
And we have to know Gurudev to some degree, which actually everybody here does, through the devotees, through his teachings, or by being here. They do know, you do know, each of you, Srila Gurudev to some degree. Otherwise, that statement might sound a bit hard-hearted. But Gurudev was the opposite of hard-hearted. But he had his way to crack the seal around the heart of others. And that was one way, in his affectionate way, saying such things and following it up, no doubt, with a sentence or two. Hare Krishna. Now Praneshwari Devidasi is asking about the Ramananda Samvat. Didi, what aspect? We've all read.
Maria Lila and co-words from text 245 to 257. If you can comment at least some of them, or if you want to read, I can share the screen with the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
No, well, I don't know. I mean, we can give a little bit of a class on Ramananda Samvat, but perhaps not today, because really it's such a topic that we should just do a little preparation for a subject like that. And actually, I was thinking before our back to basics today, of we can actually have some titles, and we have some title. I have, kind of ideas for titles. When we first started the back to basics, we did go through, for instance, the Shikshastakam, we did go through the Upadeshamritam, we did go through some of the Chatushloki of Bhagavad Gita. I mean, lots of the basic things of our devotional life. And we have gone through, I'm sure, this, but we're happy to go through all these topics again, because they need to be rotated. And I mean, just ask each other, what are the 10 offenses to the holy name of the Lord? The very first instruction given by Guru. And we have to keep asking each other that, otherwise that also slips off the radar. And when it slips off the radar, it means also that we're not being conscious about avoiding those 10 offenses. And so the Ramananda Samvat needs a little preparation. But on this theme of education, that you are an educator and we have devotees who are teachers. And I was thinking today about another devotee who lives not so far from here, which is why I was thinking about this, who is a school teacher. And I was thinking about that devotee, that like the nature of a school teacher is to impart knowledge to children. If children are not taught anything, what will their life be if they don't know some mathematics, if they don't know some basic things? What will their outlook on life be? Is an interesting thought. And this devotee is a teacher of young children. And this idea that, we are telling them something essential for their life, or something they're going to need in their life. But the Krishna conscious life is the thing that everybody needs in their life, whether they can add, 4 plus 7 plus 3 divided by 2, and then 10% discount, and then how much is that going to be? Maybe they can't do that, or maybe they can't even say 4 plus 3 equals. But if they know what is devotional life, and that, whatever we're doing is meant to be for Krishna, that is the very necessity. And if a child has no education, he won't know, anything, basically. And if we have no education about our spiritual life, then we don't know anything. So in this way, you're kind of reminded me of those recent thoughts, because the Ramananda Samvad is like the education of the, as Guru Maharaj says, ontology, which I had to look up as an English-speaking person. Well, I used to think I spoke English, speaking person. Then that word ontology, like the step by step by step by step understanding of the deeper, 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 go on, go on, go on, go on deeper. A conception about spiritual life. And so Ramananda Samvad, we sort of take the conclusion of it, the union in separation, etc. We take it very easily. We take Radha and Krishna's names very easily. Go to Vrindavan and the rickshaw drivers are calling out Radharani's name just to get you out of the way, which, we're not criticizing the rickshaw drivers, but Shukadev Goswami, he didn't take the name of Radharani in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. And so lots of things we take for granted, but we got some education by the grace of Guru Maharaj, by the grace of Gurudev, by the grace of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj. Krishna Das Kaviraj, who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. We've got this education. And before Mahaprabhu, then all of these things, they were hardly known. And in the Western world, really, before Srila Prabhupada. And in particular, they've all got their in particular contribution. But before Srila Prabhupada, before Srila Guru Maharaj, before Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, then we didn't have any knowledge about things, and like fully uneducated, like the child who doesn't know like anything of the world at all. So the Ramananda Samvad, so much importance given to that, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur even changed Guru Maharaj's name as Guru Maharaj goes to discover the place of that discourse. And that place of discourse is on the banks of the Godavari River. And for us, a super place to visit if we're not encouraging tourist pilgrimage, but to visit the very special places of our masters is very invigorating. A special place of pilgrimage. Hare Krishna. And in the education world, in a university or in a school, there is a standard. If somebody is starting to teach geography or, I don't know, any subject matter, but if they're doing it by their own whim, then they'll be kicked out of the school. The teacher will be kicked out of the school. There's some standard for giving education, but in the spiritual side of things, then almost anybody can stand up and make some claims and write some books and this, that, and the other. with so many religious conceptions, many of which are invented. I mean, invented, absolutely invented. Then really we come again to think that to get a good education in spiritual life, it's very difficult to find the college or the kindergarten, the junior school, the secondary school, the college, the university. It's very difficult, and we can only rely on good fortune to come to like a genuine, as they say in America, but a genuine, a proper, it's like certified, qualified place where you're going to get proper teaching. So we are very fortunate that we somehow landed on our feet in this world, and landed at the feet of the genuine, the proper teachers who are giving us the education of spiritual life. And not just the beginning good education, but the step by step all the way through. And not just of knowing about it, but the practices of spiritual life. And that's why we are happy to say, yes, we are the Krishna consciousness, the Hare Krishnas, when people ask us. But we're the Krishna conscious students, we're the Krishna conscious class, which has kept under the shelter of those great personalities who brought Krishna consciousness in this age and have been under their shelter from our Krishna consciousness movement, if you like, is from 1965 when Srila Prabhupada came through till 2010. So that is 45 years. 45 years of guardianship by pure devotees coming from the upper world, of the same team teaching us the theory, but teaching us the practice. And you can see we can have all the books in the world, but the examples of tolerance, how to tolerate, what to do, etc. This has been continued through from Srila Prabhupada. I mean, in the timeline, we're not necessarily talking about any other line, but in the timeline, from Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev, of such deep quality and personality. So education, to give education to children, a teacher must teach the right thing. They can't make up their own stories. And so similarly, in spiritual life, and then we can narrow it down, from the broad idea of spiritual life, to the finer ideas. And then all of these we have to get the proper direction. And actually, the best person to talk about Ramananda Samvad is Srila Guru Maharaj himself. And the best person to talk about Ramananda Samvad is Srila Gurudev himself. And Srila Gurudev, he would take the pilgrimage parties to Kovur, where is the place of the Ramananda Samvad, revealed by Guru Maharaj, discovered by Guru Maharaj. And so Srila Gurudev explaining these things, Guru Maharaj explaining these things. We've got the teachers, the specialist lecturers to guide us. And all of our life under their shelter. Hare Krishna. Lest we forget. We look very orange, don't we?
Very saffron.
Very saffron. Well, I could look very Mayavadi. Actually,
no, that's never.
I actually put this on, which is what I would like to be wearing. Hare Krishna. And we've been with the public. We've been with the public. So we've been, doing programs, and the Brazilians are very good, because they sent me a schedule. They sent me a schedule itinerary of what we'll be doing in Brazil, maybe 3 weeks ago or something. And I said, well, it doesn't sound very busy to me. Please keep me busy when we come, not just one program on a day or 2 programs, but keep me busy. So they've been very good. They've been keeping us busy. And so we've been meeting the public and doing like talk after talk, and different types of people and different places. So we've been meeting the public a lot recently. And we can understand that the world knows now about the Vedas. They know they exist, but what everyone's getting from the Veda, which part of the elephant's body they're touching, whether they think it's a fan or a snake or a rope or a trunk, a tree trunk, or a wall or a spear, or whatever other part of like the elephant. I think you all know the story of the elephant, the blind men who were all trying to understand what is an elephant, and some touched the ear, some the tail, some the leg, and they all got a different idea. All of them were right, but all of them were wrong, because an elephant is made up of all those parts. And somehow that verse, which I don't know, but maybe Sevarupa and Praneshri can erase to find out the verse in Bhagavad Gita, which says about not getting caught up by the flowery words of the Vedas, and the promise of enjoyment by leading a pious life and things like this. That part, I suppose it's natural. That doing something, cleaning up their life or something for some gain. Again, the selfish side, like using scriptural knowledge for some selfish purpose rather than for selfless purpose. And the different things that people think of the teachings of the scripture, sometimes it's shocking. I'm shocked. In Brazil, you speak with a Portuguese accent, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Correct, Prafulla Prabhu? Prafulla Krishna is great because he can back me up. He's so good to have with the talks, because he can back me up, that it's not just me saying something about Gurudev or the mat. Here's somebody, who's been there with Gurudev, been in the mat. And so Prafulla, he's an angel who looks like Prafulla Krishna, and he comes to share beautiful things with the devotees.
And tomorrow we'll meet again, Maharaj. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. Did you succeed in your mission? The devotees have all been, like all the way here. We're getting some description of your Leela in Sao Paulo, getting things and being ready to drive here. So
yeah, it's a little rough today, but everything is fine now. Everything's set.
Okay, well, good. Have a safe journey. And we've already got quite a group here. And we, just to let everyone know, we had a beautiful evening arati, really beautiful. And it just reminded me of like Govardhan, being in Govardhan, because we're actually doing as the humans, we're doing it outside, but Krishna is inside and he's on his altar. And we're on the hill, and it's like very clear, and the time when the sun has just gone down. We had a beautiful evening arti here, and then a very lively evening program, and then happy evening prasadam. Anyway, you're all Hare Krishna, Hare Krishnas. You know what happens every day in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat is a festival. So we're looking forward to Prafulla Krishna coming tomorrow with, I think, bigger pots and things like this for the cooking to help things go on. Yes, Prafula Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. I'll try to leave early.
Okay. Hare Krishna. And actually, we were remembering, because we were going through the 10 offenses to the holy, we were going through the 10 offenses to the holy name. You see, back to basics is running everywhere. But we were remembering the very beginnings of the back to basics, and we were remembering how it was actually Ananda Moy from Brazil here who got back to basics started in Navadip. And this is all, it was not online, it was just us, back to basics in Navadip. You know, us means, you know, the Western devotees who were there going through things. And it was, I gave credit to Ananda Moy for giving the key words for learning the 10 offenses to the holy name, etc. But she gives credit to Ramachandra Guru. So I'm not sure. Devotees are always passing on the credit.
Yes.
But we were remembering the foundation of this back to basics, where we came from.
I think in the beginning the name was backed to Bhakti Basics, and then became Bhakta later. But I think it was, Ananda Moy had a chart, back to Bhakti Basics. Anyhow, long time back.
Oh, it could be. It could be. And I'm pretty sure it was Ananda Moy from Brazil here, who was there in Navadip, who came up, had this thing of BBBC, because
Yes.
people used to like sort of tease me about English was a BBC English, which the English wouldn't accept, because in England, the British people always ask me where I'm from, which is very strange. What happened to England? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was Ananda Moy who came up with this BBBC. So instead of BBC, oh yes, Mahananda is going to do BBC. It's going to give a BBC talk today. No, it's going to give a BBBC talk today. Hare Krishna.
And you see, over a decade later, it's still running, Maharaj. Thanks to you and your dedication. Thank you so much.
Over a decade? What year are we in? 2023. Oh my goodness, it's over a decade. Are we so old? I thought we were 21. Okay, 23. Hare Krishna. Anyway, wonderful devotees in Brazil, if you'd like a little report from here, and lots of enthusiasm, and they feel, I mean, Brazil and the Brazilians, I think, really do feel that they're quite on the edge of the world. You know, to go from Brazil to anywhere, it's quite a long way. I mean, anywhere in the sense of, you know, what we think the center of the world is, which is Navadip Dham, to go to India, to Bharatvarsha, etc. It's quite on the side of the world, and how appreciative they are, and so many gems, like everywhere we go, and we're meeting old devotees and going on steadily, and gems, and we're meeting new devotees going on enthusiastically and steadily. And it's a reminder that all over the world there are sweet devotees going on with good heart, with good intention. And this is very encouraging for us all to see, but for us all to remember, and to remember everywhere there are good devotees, wherever in the world, if we are fortunate, we will find such persons. So always look for the positive. And we were remembering Bhakti Lalita's expression, and when she said that we are the majority, but we are living in a minority area. Because the majority are devotees, they live in Vaikuntha. In the broad sense, Vaikuntha means all the way through to Goloka Vrindavan, where most of them live. Is that so? Well, it's infinite. So infinite minus infinite is infinite. Infinite plus infinite is infinite. But in Goloka Vrindavan, I mean, that is the very goal for us all, not only pure devotion, but the pure devotion in the footsteps and with the seed and grace of the topmost devotees of the Lord. All the way from Narayan, Vishnu upwards, they're all pure devotees, but extra special coming from Goloka Vrindavan. And that's who we are connected with. This is our opportunity. So don't blow this opportunity. Take it happily. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, in the chat you have the verse. Sevarupa found it.
Another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sudushaham imang manya. No, we read
The last one,
yes.
the last one.
Yes, yes. So we go to Sevarupa. Yang imang pushpitang vacham. I'll save you the Sanskrit because it is a little long here and we are a little over time. And the translation, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this.
Maharaj, I'm talking about heavenly planets. Krishna Priya is here.
She indeed, talking about heavenly planets. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, what a beautiful comment as well to introduce you, Krishna Priya Devi.
Actually, I don't know what to say now. Just don't know what we want.
Well, today I also came out with an expression that, well, if you want to be embarrassed, just be around the devotees. Because
well, you are the master of that, by the way.
well, I'm not a devotee. I've been learning from them, so I'm just kind of following that style. But anyway, I think Praneshri's successfully embarrassed Krishna Priya. And anyway, but I can.
Not my intention.
Hare Krishna and Ramasundar Prabhu, Ramasundar, you look healthy in Gurudev's words and expression.
He belongs to almost extinct group of devotees.
Aha.
The Brahmachari devotees.
Oh, okay, almost extinct. Well, we have one potentially save the race of Brahmachari devotees here. Have to give him some grace, all of you good souls. Because only by grace. We sing this song, Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur, very easily. We sing Gurudev, Kripa Bindudiya very easily. But by grace of the Vaishnavas, then we may be able to stand firmly, stand fixed in our devotional intention and vows. I mean, vows means principles, everything. May we be able to do that by the grace of the Vaishnavas and, of course, specifically grace of Guru and Vaishnava. All right, dear devotees, this time around, I appreciate all of you for nourishing me. And Leela Sundar Prabhu didn't say a word because I didn't let him get a word in edgeways. Oh dear. But we'll be back because we'll be here at the same time on Sunday doing the same thing. So okay, on Saturday for us.
Saturday.
Saturday night for us. Okay, got it. So we'll be at the same time. And you see, coming to the end of our program, we're wide awake. The beginning of the program felt like the end of the day. But now we are ready for the next day, which is already by 6 minutes. It's the next day for us.
Maharaj, I just wanted to just say real quick, since you're in Brazil, about our Brazilian devotees here in SoCal, because now we have Vidura and Anandamoy here in SoCal.
Oh, right. They've moved back from Canada.
Yeah, they're back. Yeah, super exciting. And you know, Nanda Priya's here. She'll be leaving next week, but she's here right now. And we also have, of course, Bimala. And we have Murari. I don't know if you know Murari. He's a really lovely person. He comes a lot to the temple. And I just wanted to give a little shout out to our Brazilian family that's currently visiting us or staying here in SoCal.
Goranga.
Gauranga.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Gauranga Prabhu.
Gauranga Prabhu, yes, yes. Definitely.
It's an invasion. We are invading America, Maharaj.
Please do it. Do it. We need all the help we can get.
All right, dear devotees. Anyway, I'll be happy in the gathering here to let the Brazilian devotees know that they are so nicely being remembered and thought of around the world, literally around the world from all of you. And when Jivan is giving a special mention, that's got a little extra kick to it, to the value. So we'll do that happily. And again, I've got witnesses. We've got Prafulla Krishna, he's going to be with us tomorrow. And we've got here Leela Moy Prabhu. So we've got witnesses and they can say yes. And we try to do what we're asked to do. And we've been also distributing some gifts that devotees have given to give to the devotees and with their messages. And it's very warm, heartwarming to see their message, the reciprocation. That's part of the reciprocation with the devotees. And it's so sweet. And now it's the day and age when the devotees here can say on video, oh, look, oh, thank you for sending me this and this. And then, it's kind of such it brings distance to no distance at all because it's all heart to heart.
Right. Maharaj, Dandava Pranams from Sevarupa Devidasi in Mexico.
Dandavat Sevarupa.
Dandava Pranams from Divya Shakti Didi and Tunga Rasa Didi.
My Dandavat to pranam to each of you. And we don't have Facebook on because we were a little afraid that the internet wouldn't work very well. But I think for some reason, everybody else is not on the internet now. And I think they were on the internet before.
That's the reason.
We'll meditate on that reason very soon. Okay. Dear devotees, one and all, we very much appreciate your presence and let us continue next few days later, our Saturday, some Sundays and our Saturday coming up. And that's it. Jai Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Sunda Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Kshiradev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And Om Vishnupad, Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. All the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki Jai. Ananda Vaishnava Brinda ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati all over the world, festival every day for those who participate ki Jai. And Gaur Premanandi Hari
Bol.
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavi Namo.
Jai Srila Bhaktiranjan Madhusudana Maharaj ki Jai.
And if any of you are going to be looking for our short Facebook and Instagram posts that we post. It's going to be, I think, 8 hours late today for some reason, which I'm going to meditate on soon. It'll be 8 hours late today. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Dandavat, dear devotees.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And Krishna Priya, I didn't want to embarrass you. That was not the purpose.
No,
I was so happy to see you, so happy to see you. And we were just reading that, Heavenly Planet.
I was just quiet, sitting in the morning, and then kind of like into meditation. And then you mentioned my name. I was like, oh, I just like feel like I just wake up.
You're very special
I don't
and
know
very
what to
sweet.
say.
You're cherished, really, really.
Yes.
Dandavat pranam, Hare Krishna.